Race for tomorrow is 50 minutes.
Good evening and welcome to round 3 here of the oNiD AC Championship here on oNiD Community Racing. You're live with us for the third round of our championship here, the Indycars. We're at Nürburgring. Not the long one, thank God. We're not total menaces, are we, Ben?
No, we are not that bad. But I know some people would, but yeah, not happening on my watch.
As we have just finished an open practice session, we're about to go qualifying for the third round this evening, and 45 lap race or hour of race time, whichever comes first. I think it's actually just 45 laps, isn't it?
40, yeah, just straight up 45. Well, 46 with a fourth to account for the rolling starts, but yeah, straight in and getting on with the action this evening.
Live race control present this evening, same as the last couple of weeks, and for the rest of this championship, both Rob Szymanski, Racing Psycho, and Chris Overstreet, a couple of admins in the oNiD community, stepping up to provide the live safety car for this evening. As we are just awaiting the qualifying to get underway, we will eventually get out there and go for qualifying. As we said, 14 cars with all sharing qualifying and sharing the track at the same time, so they have to find a bit of space. Shouldn't be too hard with 14 cars, but as the qualifying does go live, we will just get going with the first car. And the first car out on the circuit is Alfie Bevan, which is wonderful to see him back, and he'll be racing for this round. It's nice to see some familiar names, a couple of new ones as well.
Yeah, his first night in the championship. He couldn't make it for the first couple of weeks. I've just realised I've given him his old livery. It's still got Mr. Bean behind the wheel.
Lovely. Oh yes. Oh no.
Fine. Okay.
That's going to be interesting. Good grief. What have you done, Ben?
It wasn't my fault. He did this before we brought in the rule.
Lord God. Right, we'll figure it out, but we'll be fine for tonight.
It's fine.
But qualifying underway. 10 minutes of qualifying for our one and only race this evening. As I said, we've got 15 drivers. We've had one come in. I didn't know see you come in, but we did have 14. They have 15. So 7.5 rows of the grid, and they're going to go out now and figure out who's going to start where. And we'll start with Alfie because he's the first one on the flying lap. We'll follow him around on his out lap, and then tell you what, let's see if we can jump on board with him. That's better. That's what we wanted. As he gets his first lap underway and under his belt, he's going through the final chicane and then puts the power down, ready to go for the first flying lap. It will be the first representative lap that we see on the board from the drivers. Nothing untoward on his out lap, and he starts his lap now.
Yeah, good traditional circuit, this one. A lot of one these drivers will be very familiar with. That we're going to, so hopefully we should see some good lap times put in this evening.
It should indeed. Nice, neat and tight as you turn 1 and 2. Short shifting on exit, attempted to kill wheel spin. The car slows right down again for turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, no push to pass on qualifying, so this will be whatever they can make of it. No assistance on it, but they are Alfie very points with the car. Open setup, of course, this season. We've done a couple of seasons of fixed setup, but these guys are now being able to tinker to the car to their heart's delight.
Indeed, they have been. So expect some quick times if the people have managed to get this car set up to their liking. So that'll be of advantage to those who can and have been able to change things on the car and extract a little bit more performance out of it. As Alfie's coming up to the final sector now, goes deep. He's on circuit, however, and then this long right hand that leads to this. We'll call it a straight. It is a corner, but it's essentially straight. Yeah, flat out through it as we'll go down onto the brakes of the final chicane. It is the actual final chicane, not the long endurance open chicane that you saw just to the right hand side of your screen. As you come down to the final corner, gets it turned in well, No, come to line. It's
Very quick lap.
Yeah, it's massive. 137.4, but Pavot behind him's going quicker. 136.7. Shall we have there for Mr. James Lee Pavot?
Jacob Hind pops it on. Jan Neshev immediately supplants him.
Peter's improving as well, quicker than anyone else by 0.2 of a second. Oh, and just loses out in the final sector. 0.1 of a second. Oh, not even that. 0.08 of a second between him and Pavot for pole.
Axel Benoit on his flight is 4/10 up at the moment.
Yeah, just saw that pop up as well. And Pavot's on another lap, going even quicker than his best lap by 0.088 of a second. Let's stick with Axel here as he goes through the hairpin. He'll then go down into the Schumacher-esses. And you've got loads of people actually setting faster times, and there's Jevon Hein also going purple as well. But Benot very much setting the benchmark here, especially the second sector, finds another couple of attempts, is purple by 0.569 of a second. Scotty goes third, however, 137.2. It's a good lap from them. They'll be looking to improve, I am sure. As Contu in fifth going purple as well. Oh, a bit wide from Axel there. That might cost him, but half a second in hand. He may be able to afford that slight mistake coming out of the final chicane. But round the final turn he goes. What's it going to be for him? It's pole position.
Race up his pole. Oh, that's a very good time as well.
136.
Oh, 136 to half a second clear of Le Pavot in second.
That is a statement of intent, if I've ever seen one. We've got people going back out onto circuit now. You can get away with doing a quick pit stop and then just putting on fresh tyres and then going back straight out again. The only person not set a lap yet is Neil down in 19th, still in the pit lane. Not entirely sure what's happening there with him, but I'm sure he'll be coming out in the dying moments of this session to try and get a lap in. He needs to do so now, to be fair. And he does indeed, as I say that.
Yep. All our drivers are required to set a representative lap. And Ben Neal on his way out to do just that.
As we are with Kanoji. Oh, but the final chicane, I don't think he took the ideal line there.
Nope, jumps back to the pits and will give it another go.
Indeed he will, as Hein is now looking to be setting a personal best. 0.5 of a second down on pole as it stands. Goes through Schumacher-esses. And still is able to retain that 0.5 a second. It's another 0.7 a second. So it is an improvement. It won't be for pole, but it may be an improvement up a couple of positions for Jacob here.
He will want to break into those 36s. He's pushing hard to try and facilitate that. 7/10 off at the moment, so he's about there. Just needs to get a really good final sector, and he's behind Alfie Bevan, so he's not going to get held up by traffic.
Might actually help him down the main straight, get a bit of a slipstream as he goes into the final turn. On the power he gets, and he has Alfie just ahead of him to put him along. It's up to fourth.
Oh, 137.1. Very nice lap. Just 1/10 ahead of Scotty, who is starting her fly-up, I think.
Yes, she is indeed. Gus Peters setting personal best. Not enough for pole, but goes through the final chicane. That's car ahead of him. Might get a little bit of a tow down the main straight.
This is how competitive and how tight it is. Alfie Bevan's been pushed down to 6th.
Oof. And that's P2 for Peters, 136.5, only 0.3 of a second off pole position. Immediately returns to the bits and gets fresh tyres and have another crack at it.
Yeah, let's see. Axel Benoit isn't going out yet. He's got the margin. It's about 1:45 to get round to start a flyer.
Unless he's going to risk it by just staying put, as Pavot goes all wide for James.
Benoit heading out. Bevan pushing, but not there. He's improving on his own time.
Ooh.
He is pushing very hard.
Go back to Alfie and see what he's up to as he goes down through the follow through, and it'll be the chicane to follow.
Still shaking off the cobblestone. That was not ideal
No.
through the chicane. They're very unsettled in the
That
car.
was far from ideal. But nonetheless, we'll get on the power. We'll go into the line. It's the personal best sectors, but not an improvement in position. Does improve to 137.4, but it's not enough. Scotty, however, up to 4th position, 136.893. Closing in on James Pavo's side. Nezhev pops up to 6th, 137.1. Contu not too far behind either by 0.1 of a second. Neil 9th, good improvement from him. He was struggling on his outlaps, but is able to get a lap in towards the end. That's P9 137.7 as qualifying enters the final 60 seconds.
Yep, few guys going, still pushing for flyers. Jacob Hine just starting a fresh lap. Scotty's on 1. Jan Neshev also on 1. There's going to be a load of people who are going to be able to cross the line and get another lap in. Axel Benoit is warming his tyres, ready for another attempt to push stuff. Alfie Bethany has been pushed down to 8th place. He is improving. 2 tenths up in his first sector, but he's not threatening pole at the moment.
He's struggling. That was a bit of a snap as well on turning.
It was. Alfie will admit this is not his kind of car. He's not the high downforce rear-wheel drive formula car person. He prefers something with a bit of weight to it.
And a bit of a tin top as well, really, isn't it?
He'll want to shake off yesterday as well, because he had a cataclysmic crash from the lead of the LMU race last night.
Ooh, interesting. So he's
comes
got
across the line, improves to could only manage 6th.
Oh, interesting. Right, Peter's still on a lap. So's Benot, who goes. Is not an improvement in the first sector. Peters has backed off his lap. He's 0.5.1 down. That's going to be qualifying over for him.
Yeah.
Neil is on a personal best. It's not an improvement. Stays put. Jacob Hine staying as an outlap. I don't think he is. I believe that's just potentially not seeing the checkered flag yet.
Yeah, I think he's pushing, but yeah, no, that's checkered flag. That must have been an outlap, and he just didn't make it back in time.
Interesting.
But no, fastest middle sector.
He's found time. He's only 0.048 off his best lap. We'll see what he can do.
He's parked off in the corner here.
Oh, wonderful. As Pavo will stay put, but Benot goes through the final, just getting like nice and tidy. Gets the car turned in for the final turn, puts on the power, uses up ample curb. What's it going to be? 136 dead.
Oh, that's a statement of intent right there. He's been fast both weeks so far, but has not. I mean, he won the first week dominantly. Wasn't able to win the second week. Got into some cataclysms along with a lot of other people around the streets of Detroit. But very much back on, but did set pole in all 3 races. Very
good indeed. Right, and now we wait. We've been on pole. I don't want to open up results panels. There is public chat, and I don't want to be showing that on stream in case someone is doing a bit of a cheeky tax. I don't want to put that on the stream.
I mean, it'll put up in a second anyway. But no one is saying anything rude. You're fine.
That's fine. I'm still going to leave it be. We'll wait for the start of the gridding, and then we'll go to we'll pause for a moment, and it's about another minute before we go racing for our race this evening. Remember, it is not a standing start. It was a rolling start. A safety car will lead them away for 1 lap, and then they'll get underway for the full race distance. Yeah, the RUF CTR Yellowbird will come out and bring these guys round. The fancy fake Porsche. Porsche on steroids.
This week at least he will be able to get through the crowds rather than that tight grid we had last week.
Absolutely. Right. So we are now just waiting for the start of this race. a good camera angle. There we go. That's a nice camera angle to start off with a cinematic start of this race. About a minute to go before the safety car will lead the way for their rolling start, and it will be then we start tonight's feature race. One race, and that's all it is, but there's an instant safety car may come out. We have seen it before. It may happen again.
However, we do have a new procedure for the safety car this week. We have tweaked the rule set after last week. We're looking to standardise what we do for our AC safety cars anyway. And now it will be the leader will assume the pace out of the final and is free to go out of the final corner, but they are not allowed to pass until they have passed the start-finish line.
So very much
Formula One. Yeah. Occasionally F1 gets it right.
Occasionally.
Occasionally. I said what I said.
Yes. Old wounds are starting to come back through again. Hamilton Verstappen. Anyway.
We're not having another Abu Dhabi 2021 talk. Anyway, let's have a...
Well, the safety car will now lead them away, as we said. And I'll get going as the safety car will just appear on our screens from there, and we'll then show these guys around for the first tour of the lap.
Yeah, we'll just wait for the timing tower to populate. It doesn't really mean much at the moment. It will show you where people are sat on the grid. New name this evening, Kankos down in P13. His first rolling start with us for Anton Kankos, so he's probably going to be feeling a little bit nervous.
Oh.
But hopefully, he'll have a nice, entertaining evening's race.
Absolutely. We've had a couple more cars sneak in, actually. Is that... no, ignore me. That is just... it's 15. Yep, 15 cars. It's just taken into account the safety cars that are decided to go out on circuit as well, so ignore those on the timing tower for now.
It should be a relatively simple start, he says. Famous last words. But it's a known track. They know what this track is like. I can't think of anyone who hasn't spent time on this track in a sim.
No, exactly. So there'll be knowledge of the circuit. It is narrow. I'll give them that. It does get quite narrow at points, emulating the actual Nürburgring. And let's not forget, this was actually part of the circuit prior to its renovation and modernisation of the circuit. They just cut off this bit for just the circuit for normal circuit racing. So the track is still quite narrow.
Just coming through the second chicane here, these guys are going to watch the compression as they come down along the long back straight here. It is basically a straight. There is a kink in it. It's not a true corner. We're going to see people setting up moves down there. I think the push to pass will be used quite a bit down towards this final chicane. Yes,
I absolutely agree. So, we're about to go racing as the cars just figure themselves out through the final sector. Well, that's an awkward camera angle. As we see Rob pull away, and it will be Bennett to lead them away into the start finish as we wait. We wait.
And they go.
We'll wait. Couple of push-to-pass activations in the midfield already. Bennett leads them away down to turn one. It looks like they're going to be side-by-side on the braking. In the background, almost 3 wide for Pavot, Scotty and Peters. They figure themselves out as Pavot takes second position. Scotty on the inside. There's a contact. Middle slide. They just about recover. Scotty drops to 8th. Peters inherits 3rd. Neshev 4th. Bevan 5th, going up from 8th position as Wood dropping like an anvil in the ocean, but still pointing in the right direction. There's Ben Neal trying to get back on the circuit after fighting away with Jacob Hine and Zach Silver. And apart from that, everyone's through.
Through those first corners, and now we've got a race on. James, and it's a different strategy up front. James Lapavo on the alternates to Axel Benno on the prime tyres. And with 200% tyre wear these guys are using this evening, it's going to be very twitchy after a few laps.
Yep, Jacob Hine coming a crop and had an incident with Dave Wood. Alex Wood, should I say.
Still got the banner on the screen, Aidan.
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah. God damn it. I'm sure I said that. I'm sure I said that to disappear. Thank you, Twitch, for if you mentioned. But, and breathe.
Yep, they are pushing. James DePavo not letting Benno go away. They do have one mandatory pit stop during this race where they will have to either change tyre or take 1 litre of fuel. Realistically, it's going to be a tyre change and a full tank.
Absolutely, it probably will be. Lap 2 now of this race. As Benno and Pavo lead the way. Pavo's catching. He's not letting Benno get away, but equally, he's just gone completely wide off circuit.
Get a little wide as they go through the Mercedes Stadium section. Big twitch from the Pavo's car there as well. It's a corner where it will twitch on you there. Just gets a little bit spun up as you turn in. But the Pavo, he's not letting Benno run away with this one. But those tyres he has the tyre advantage. Those tyres are going to go off at some point.
Yep, absolutely indeed, as he is closing the gap on exit, but Bennett gets away well. Right, further down the order, Kanoji in a bit of traffic, sort of Scott dead ahead of him, and Silver also wants to try and close the gap. But for now, looks all neat and tidy for Kanoji, who's had internet issues previously with us, so it looks like everything's reasonably stable for him. I think he races from India, I do believe.
He does indeed. So it's lovely to see the fact he turns up every single week to take part. Same with Ben Asker, who has fallen quite a way off the back there, but another guy who turns up every single week, and we appreciate every single one of these races.
You do indeed. Pretty much equal lap times for the leaders. Oh, as Axel decides... That's not Axel, ignore me. That is fastest lap for Axel. It just popped up as Kanoji, should I say. Went very wide in the final turn. Doesn't lose any positions, but Nejev and Bevan now fighting away into turn 1, as that is Bevan around the outside for position.
Yep, these guys both very good racers. Johan does like a Formula car. He was here for the Formula Lithium series a couple of seasons back, and is now really happy to be back and taking part in this series.
Yes, absolutely. Good to see him. Good to see those names back in the community as well, racing for AC. And yeah, it's just lovely to see him. But they'll know each other pretty well from being quite regular on the Saturday course here on oNiD, so space given. As I say that, Neil and Silver have had an accident into the hairpin. That's Silver off.
That's a rejoin. And now this is Ben Neal finds himself at the front of a queue of 4 cars with Beams, Kankos, Ben Beams, Anton Kankos and Alex Wood all behind him and pushing hard.
Silver up the inside of Wood. Kanoji's had a spin. Oh, watch the rejoin.
Yeah.
Gets going once more, but I fear either that was internet issues or a mistake on his behalf. I'm not entirely sure. Ben Beams, however, making a move around Silver, but Silver actually coming back at him.
Pushy hard, and now it's teammates on teammate, both the Good Smile Racing boys there to their Hatsune Miku liveries to trying to attack Zach Silver.
Silver's going to try and make him up the inside. Doesn't think up the inside, but then switches. Oh, Ben Beach, should I say, switches back to the outside as Zach Silver fighting with Wood for position, side by side through turn 2, and give each other space.
Great racing from these two. Wood trying to go around the outside. We'll have the inside line for the next turn.
Oh, as Beers and Hine have come together.
And even they are off in the Mercedes section there. They get going. And we continue no safety car deployment as of yet.
No, I think we got away with that as Alex Wood conceding a place to Silver. And Silver's next target is Kankos in 9th position. Leaders are still pretty much 0.5, 0.6 seconds between each other as Ben Beams loses another position. That's probably Jacob Pine trying up the inside. Maybe got a little bit too deep and used him as a bit of a break there. Did potentially Jacob. But
I think Ben got very deep into the hairpin there, and that's cost him with Jacob coming through.
Absolutely. We now have Alfie Bevan wanting to try and make a move. 4P3 up the inside of Peters. There's contact. There's even more contact of Peters round.
Yeah, that's a big hit, and that's Gus Peters trapped on the start finish.
Oh dear, there's a car coming. They're going to have to avoid the parked car. Gus, you need to move sooner rather than later. And the safety car's out.
Yeah, pace car. I think Gus was in the point where there was so much traffic coming, he didn't have a space to rejoin. But 6 good laps of racing there, and now Gus will have to wait and come get moving. And the match still held there. Now that looks odd.
That's
Does he have a connection issue?
Potentially. As cars are still trying to avoid one another. Oh, that's the wrong button.
Oh, no, gets going.
Oh, it does indeed. It's very slowly, however.
Tactical move. Jatin Kanoji and Ben Beams into the pits, taking their mandatory stops.
Oh, very good.
Now this could be a good move for them because they will be getting on the back of the pace car queue with basically with a free pit stop here.
Absolutely. Now we're the leaders. Check out the final sector.
Rob is just down past the Mercedes, mate.
Well, Peters has got going again, which is nice to see. Albeit down in 15th position. As Pavo's pitting.
I think he's had enough of those alternates, realised that they weren't going to last. Might as well get off them now while you're going to not really take any penalty from it.
Yeah, bite the bullet now and see what you can do.
Get stopped. What does he go to?
Stay with him and find out.
Comes out on a fresh set of alternates.
Ooh. Okay.
That's an intriguing thing. Maybe the tyres are lasting better around here.
Potentially. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, Rob just out the hairpin. The guys are just coming out of the Mercedes. They are going to catch up with him shortly. He's just turned around the hairpin. He's crawling, and Beno's about to come up on the back of him.
Yep, absolutely.
But that's put Alfie Bevan up to P2. He's on used alternates.
Okay.
He's got a few laps underneath them, but that's going to give him an attacking chance.
Indeed.
And I've got to admit, I've been looking forward to this fight since last night when these two would die. Didn't really get a chance to dice because Axel ran into some early troubles despite getting up at the front of the grid for the start. But these two both very quick drivers.
They are indeed. Don't let quality pace fool you guys. It is pretty much a straight flat race out for between these guys. As Alfie's got his qualifying pace isn't necessarily there. His race pace, being consistent, is good enough to keep him fighting.
I'm looking forward to when we get Johan back in as well, and we have a free them and Le Pavo in a 4-way fight at the front. Would be brilliant.
Oh boy.
It's the sort of thing you dream about as a race fan, isn't it? Good racing at the front.
For a 4-way fight with four decent drivers. It's the stuff that our dreams are made of. Now,
pace car will be around for another lap. I think we're letting Ben Beams and Gus Peters catch up on the back of the pack.
Yeah, I'd say so, as well as... ooh, is that Jacob Hind diving for the pit lane? It is. So he's going to drop all the way back down the field.
But again, free pit stop, and he's going to be there with guys like Lapavo and Kanoji and Ben Beams.
He comes back out of the pits to Jacob. That's a quick stop. Not much fuel taken, but tyres. What's he come back out on?
Primes.
Interesting.
There's definitely people trying the alternate strategy here.
There is.
We don't have a compound rule. People are free to use whichever combinations of tyres they like. But we have upped the tyre wear to 200%. So these tyres will... And VRC, in all of their mods, their tyres do tend to wear at quite a rate, I found.
Indeed, yeah. Indeed they do. So, we now wait. Believe the safety car will allow the rest of the pack to catch back up to the pack.
Then hopefully we should be able to get racing again. Gus Peters is just reaching the back of the queue now. So Chris Overstreet will have a look, see if everyone is in the right position and ready to go. No one a lap down, so no one to be... Oh, and Gus has run. Overdid it a bit on the tyre warming there.
No, Gus, get back to the back of the grid, go through the S's, you're fine. As long as you have to put it into the wall.
Fine. It'll just catch straight back up there.
Yeah. Absolutely. As Neil's dropped...
Neil dropping places. I think he might have overdone it a bit as well.
Ooh, will he be able to get this pistol back? I don't think they will.
No, I think he's going to have to go from where he is.
And Rob is hightailing it back into the pits by the looks of it.
He's pulling in the pits, so Axel Benno will assume the safety car role. He's free to accelerate from the last corner. So when will he go?
Now.
He goes now, and he gets the jump. Nicely controlled. They go past the start-finish line, so they are free to overtake again.
Pull into turn one, they go. Nothing massive happening. There's car spinning at Speedman.
Oh, no.
There's contact in the background. No. That's a big shunt. That's 4 drivers involved. They all get going once more.
They've got themselves moving. Rob has been deployed again. I think that's a bit of a... We're going to do that again and do it properly this time.
Indeed. The safety car is back out. You have to wait for the leaders to catch back up again.
Oh, I don't know. He might as well just... If he gets the leaders to slow, he might as well just overtake them and assume from the front.
Yeah.
Right, I don't know about you, but my trap map's going slightly doolally and they're all slightly out of sync with the actual map.
Yes, a little bit, yes. But another...
refresh.
Yeah, another brief pause.
Yep, I think they're going to let Rob come through, assume the front, and then go again from there.
You're about to find out. Yeah. Gonna let him pass, aren't they? Yep. Please don't plough under the brakes into one of the cars, Rob, please.
I'm slightly nervous given what I'm not confident in the brakes on that RUF, I've got to admit.
Yeah, right. He makes it work, and he will take up the lead car very shortly. Through the S as they go.
It goes past Minot. And now he will back the crowd up.
Indeed he will. He's still putting away at quite a rate.
Yeah, this is something they were trying last week. He goes a little bit faster through some sections to give them... Try and preserve some of their tyre warmth, basically.
Yeah. Indeed.
There's some big gaps in the queue. So I think we're just going to need everyone to budge themselves up and
try
hopefully,
and calm down a little bit. Yes.
and Rob straight back in. So they've got them. They've calmed down a bit, and they're going to get going again.
Indeed, they are. Now, Bennett takes the de facto safety car until the final turn. They can't start past each other until the start-finish line.
Oh, very good jump by Benno there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Lined him up nicely.
Very good jump there for Axel. He goes down into turn one relatively unchallenged. And then in the background, Scott makes up a position down the inside of Silver. That's a P4, a wobble on acceleration, about to go 3 wide through turn 3, as Scott gets re-overtaken and loses 2 positions to Silver and Pavot. Oh, contact! That's Pavot round, Silver round, should I say.
Yeah, that's exact, but they get going. Oh, it's Gus Peters round at the exit there. Is he going to be able to get going?
We shall wait and see for a moment. If he doesn't, it might be another safety car that comes out. And he's still stationary.
He needs to get moving. He can't just wait there until they send the pace car. Spins it round, gets going.
Ah, that's alright then. Oh, it's Ben Asker's having issues as well, struggling to get back on circuit. And is able to get it pointed back in the right direction once more.
We need to be careful. Gus Peters is coming up on him at speed. There you go. Lets him go and just... And they get going again.
Indeed they do. Leaders now going up into the final chicane. Pavo not too far back off P3 is Kanoji and Kankos. Having a fight, Kanoji up the inside. And that was for a 7th position into the final chicane. Good move from him. I'm sure he'll be quite pleased with that, up to a solid midfield position as the leaders now cross the line for the 10th time of asking.
And all of these guys fighting behind him are playing into Benno's hands. He's able to try and get a bit of a run away. Now, we got a back marker in... No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's Johan Neshev in P2, but he's only got Contu and Lepavo right behind him in those orange and blue car.
Have indeed. So he'll be now having to start to defend from these guys if they do able to close the gap a little bit. He's going to certainly hope that they'll start fighting, so Nishev can have a bit of breathing space between the cars behind him. But Conti and Pavo, I don't think, are going to be that happy to let him get away with 3rd position. However, Alfie Beavan recovering after the first lap calamity there on the first restart in 6th. Has got past Kanoji for 7th, and will now start to look for position past Ben Neal for 5th position.
Eyeing up the back of that bar racing liveried Indycar there to try and just get that move done.
He is.
You've got to think with Alfie's pace, it probably won't be too long. James Lepavo looks to the outside as they enter the chicane. Well, there tries to get the cut back, not able to get the move done, but will dart to the inside of the final hairpin.
Thinks better of it.
Contu holding him off.
Indeed he is.
We saw James Lepavo take that early pit stop, drop to the back, and now he's back up in P4 and pushing for P3.
Contu activated the push to pass to try and defend the position, goes deep into turn 1. Pavo will try the over-under. It's not going to quite work here. He'll try again into turn 2. Around the outside. No, thinks better of it. He's going to try and dart inside turn 3. No, Conti reads him like a book. Will defend the inside line quite fiercely. And will then hold position, but goes wide through turn 4. It's going to give Pavo an opportunity up the inside of turn 5. They're side by side. Slight rub on the tyres. They give each other space. They are still side by side going through turn 6. And is that move done?
That does look like the move done. Just about slides back in front of Contu there.
Indeed, might have given a bit of a chop off of the nose in process, but no harm, no foul. He gets away up to 3rd place with James, and Nishev now has a bit of breathing space as those two are fighting about 1.2 seconds. But Pavo, I'm sure, will be looking to close into that gap. I tell you, the gap's already come down to 0.7 a second. He's catching and getting the car back up to speed.
Yes, indeed, and then we're getting some really good fights to go here. Ben Neal holding on against the offensive moves from Alfie Bevan. And Jacob Hine having a great fight with our newcomer Anton Kankos here.
Here they are, as they both go jump back to that battle a bit further down the order, and it is Kankos trying to make a move on Jacob Hine. Don't think he's going to make it work there. That's better camera angle, there we go. We'll hold station. And we'll live to fight another day as P3 and P2 getting mighty close together as well.
Yeah, and Benno's loving this. He's able to just check out 3.5 seconds the good up front. Alfie Bevan gets the move done on Ben Neal there, who looks to have had a mistake and is immediately under threat by Jatin Kanoji down into the hairpin.
Indeed.
It's fighting everywhere we look around here. Angela Scotti on the back of Ben Beams, trying to make her way back through the field after some early troubles. Ben Beams gets wide.
Saves it.
Yeah. Scotty read the snap really well and was able to dart up the inside of Ben Beams there.
Good stuff. They'll be pleased with that, and I'm sure they'll get back underway racing once more as Ben tries to close that gap, but that gap is extending and Scott's that done easily.
James Pavo on the back of Johan Neshev, darts out of the slipstream on the brakes down into turn one, gets the car turned in, and that's moved on.
Yeah, that was easily done. No push to pass news, however, just on pure slipstream, so he'll be happy with that move, I'm sure, and gets it up to second position. 4.2 seconds between him and leader. Let's see how long off he can close that gap to make it a new fight for the lead. That would be mighty interesting. Peters, however, making a move on Wood, the 13th position. I think that was up the inside of the final chicane. That's move done and dusted.
Gus Peters fighting back after a couple of early shenanigans. But now this is what we love to see. Great racing from these guys.
Indeed it is, and there we go, better camera angle. Trying to get the right cameras here, it's a bit awkward. As Wood goes down turn one, and yeah, pretty much yours position now. Pavo not necessarily closing the gap as much as we thought he would.
I wonder if he's taken too much from those softer alternate tyres. Because he's got to now close down that big old amount of space ahead of him to Axel Benno.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what we can do. But for now, actually it's closed up a little bit. 0.4 of a second closed on that lap by the looks of it.
Let's get a bit through that last sector. So that's... I'd love to know which one it was, but it didn't hold the lap time in long enough for me to compare them.
No, it didn't, did it? Well, Pavo does do 137.4 as we saw, but
last laps were 138.2 for Beno and a 137.7 for Pavo, who does have fresher tyres even if he's on the alternates because he changed them at that early pit stop. Whereas, Beno would have been able to save a bit under the safety car. He has had to do the whole race so far on that first set of primaries.
So he'll be hurting a little bit, won't he, Bennett, for tyre wear? We shall see. Kankos comes to the pits for his mandatory pit stop, comes back out on the prime tyre.
We are starting to see all those guys who took the early stop making moves. Jatin Kanoji up to P7 and attacking the back of Ben Neal, runs a little bit wide. Luckily found that little patch of tarmac at the edge of the hairpin, able to save the car from spinning by using it to get back on.
Oh.
But that has cost him to the car in front.
Has indeed. So he'll be looking to get that gap back up and closed again. It was right on the tail of Neil for quite a while actually. So we're trying to get right back up onto the 6th position. We'll keep an eye on that. I'll put a pin in it. As things have now started to calm down a little bit. Pit stop has been made. Field's a little bit spread out. And Zach Silver, however, is closing on P10. Ben Beams for a fight, about half a second between them.
And this should be a good little fight. Ben Beam's not one to shy away from a fight with another car. Zach Silver got a lot of pace on, was the AMS champion last season, has promoted to the pros for this season. Not had the best of times so far, but he will want to make those moves.
Indeed, Benny Beam's now having to defend from Zach into turn 1 they go.
Very defensive line from
but
Zach.
The over-under helps. Oh, it's Hind!
Hind spun round on the exit of the first turn.
Oh dear. So he's lost a couple of positions. Silver now sending up the inside of turn 3 into turn 4. And that's moved done.
Wide on the exit, and that has let Zach get away.
Has indeed. Kanoji and Kankar selecting to use a push to pass. Kanoji not too far behind Neil for position. Maybe use that boost to close the gap a little bit to give him a bit of an assistance.
Ooh.
But now...
My game's just having a moment. I'll be back in a second.
That's alright, all good. As, again, that pressure pass didn't really work for Kanoji there. Closes the gap a minor amount, maybe about 0.1 or 0.2 of a second. As his chase down of Ben Neal continues. Gap between the lead at 3.8 seconds. The Chev now 4 seconds behind Pavot. It's going to be a new battle forming for P4.
Taking time out of Benno here, but he's also going to be taking life out of those tyres.
Yes.
I've got to say, I wonder how efficient and how effective the push to pass is here. Because the only place where it's really useful is sector 3, and everyone else is going to be using it in sector 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the push to pass does come into use here for Kanoji down to turn 1. It goes deep. Does get it turned in, but maybe a bit too late on the brakes. We'll live to fight another day. Contour and Silver in. So it's Ben asking for their first pit stop. That would be mandatory, done and dusted. We'll potentially need to stop again before the end of this race with 30 laps to go. But for now,
Mac is still not showing me push to pass usage, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I still have no idea how this timing tower makes its decisions, but we go with it anyway.
We do indeed. As Kanoji not trying to close the gap to Neil for 5th. Now goes down below 1 second, 0.9 of a second between them. Just trading lap times as it stands at the moment. But Neil looking very much stronger in the 2nd and 3rd sector, where he's able to extend that gap over Jatin very, very briefly. Little fight down the back of the field, plus Peter's trying to look into getting over past Zach Silver. Things about making a move up the inside of the hairpin. That's not going to work. Thankfully, they don't clatter into each other. It almost looked like they were about to do so, to be fair, but Peter's managing to get the car slowed down enough to avoid contact. But that's going to open the eyes of Zach Silver, though. Maybe having to keep a couple of eyes in the back of his head now.
I think Ben Asker has been in the pits for a long time.
He has. I've just noticed that, actually. His current pit stop is 2 and odd minutes.
We've not got damage on the server this week. We elected to take it off after last week, so I can only assume that something's gone wrong with Ben's system there.
Quite potentially. Or he was booted back to the pits for some reason, and he's having to serve essentially a tow penalty.
Yeah. Could well think. Now, James Lapavo has closed the gap down by about a second over the last few laps. But he is starting to look a little bit twitchy with those rear tyres. And he will be chewing the rubber off those.
I am not surprised.
Closest fight on track is Jacob Hine on Ben Beams. About 7 tenths between them. Jacob trying to close down the Good Smile liveried car here. Does a really good line through the chicane. Makes up 3 tenths there alone. And he's now going to have the run down the long back straight and the uphill run towards the final chicane.
That's the slipstream. Can he get it done on the brakes?
Not quite close enough. But he's going to be right under the gearbox of that the Good Smile car.
He is indeed. So, gets into the slipstream. Uses to the right curve. Kanoji and Neil both in the pits. Just to note as well.
Pretty sure both those guys pitted at the first pace car.
Indeed they did, and inside there's Hine tried to make the move into turn 1, can't make it work, 60 outside of turn 2. You'll need to have a racing space. Beams holding the racing line, turn 3, over under potentially possibility for Jacob Hine, who'll try it for turn 4 as well. Get a better
very
corner.
defensive lines from Beams there. Not pushing his luck, but definitely saying to Jacob, you're not coming through easily.
Absolutely. Hine staying put for now. Gets down onto the power, and the hairpin actually might be a good opportunity here for him, but Ben does go half defensive. But now leaves the door open for Hine to slot up the inside.
Right by each other, side by side, but Jacob gets the move done, gets on the power and pushes away through the chicane.
Good stuff, he'll be happy with that. 14 seconds, however, is a gap to him and P5. He's got a lot of driving to do if he wants to try and close that down. Well, it'd help if I didn't stutter. He's got a lot of work to do to close that gap down to P5, but I'm sure he'll give it a good shot as Neshev comes in to the pit lane for his second pit stop.
Yeah, now let's see. Came in on the primaries. What does he go out on? I think he was bingo fuel there, really, wasn't he? He has had to absolutely brim that car.
Yeah, absolutely.
20 laps done, so that means that even with the pace car, it's not looking like it can do a full race's worth. It looks like it's going to be a 2-stopper, would be my guess.
I would also agree with that assessment. We joins back out in 8th, but we are pretty much gambling and betting on the fact that everyone ahead of him will have to stop again. So depending on how things open up for him, might be in a good position here for a top 3 finish.
He's got Jacob Hine in the way now, who is not the easy. Well, it's Neshev, wasn't it? Dropped down to P8. He's got Mikko Kontu, Ben Beams, and Jacob Hine ahead of him immediately.
Yep.
Angela Scott has worked her way back up to P4, but I'm not sure what her situation is on pit stops.
Jacob
Hine is around.
We'll get back out on track, but the leader is in the pits.
Yep, comes in on the primary tyres. Will he make a compound change, or is he going to carry on with what he has? He does. He goes to the alternates. Alfie Bevan also in.
Indeed.
So I think this is where we're starting to see that fuel is starting to come into play here. Even if you did the earlier stops and got yourself out of sequence, there's only so much fuel they'll have saved.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott also in the pits. The Chev's going to overtake these guys that are in the pit lane as Alfie Bevan exits the pit lane, but stays ahead of Negev.
It's just over half a second, but they have traffic in front of them. Ben Beams and Mika Kontu up to P4 and 3 through that pit stop cycle. Alfie slides the car to get it turned in. Goes round the outside of Ben Beams and makes the move stick. Puts the Good Smile car in between himself and the charging Johan Neshev.
And Neshev trying to make a move around the outside, and that's move done as well. Bit of contact. but nothing horrible. That's
Ben B's got the feeling they've absolutely mugged him there. Two cars both gone round the outside of him, but those fresh alternate tyres are really doing some hard work.
They are indeed. Yeah, pretty much at the halfway point of this race now, by the way, folks. So, still all to play for. And as I said, I think that we'll have at least. Oh, I think we're going to have maybe a 2-stopper here, maybe potentially 3, depending on pit stops. Hind's off again.
Oh, the longer we run under green, the harder it is going to be for these guys to try and charge away and make places up.
Yeah.
Oof, around again. Have his tyres just completely gone on him?
Potentially. As we're going to stick with Alfie Beefin here. On the back of Conti for position into turn 1. Does he think of making a move? No, it stays put. Stays behind. Doesn't elect to dive for the inside.
I think Jacob Himes going to be praying for a safety car this morning, along with Alex Wood and Gus Peters, for that matter.
Absolutely.
Right on the back of Miku Kontu here. I believe these two have had a fight already, but Alfie right back in it and looking to make the move.
He is indeed. Is right on the tail. Potential move into the hairpin if Kontu doesn't defend, but Alfie thinks better of it. Elects to hold out to try and find and await for another opportunity to arise.
Fresh alternates versus used primaries here. It's not going to be the he went very wide. I think he got the aero wash there.
Did
and
indeed.
That's upset the car and thrown him wide.
Oh, David's off.
Alex Wood,
should I say.
Yeah, round at the Mercedes arena, gets going again, but that's lost him the place to Gus Peters.
As indeed. As the battle between Neshev and Bevan is now going to be heating up again after Bevan's little excursion through the Macaresses.
There's a lot of fights going on. Johan Neshev now has closed in on Alfie Bevan.
He has indeed. Stack Silver and Kankos also quite close together as they go into the final turn. The camera angle doesn't help us there, but it will change as actually move done just out of camera shot.
Yep, Zach gets the move done and gets clear. Kankos will try and come back at him, but I think it's used tyres there is one of the problems.
Yeah, absolutely. On a different pit strategy to Zach Silver. Interesting line to turn 1. Decides to take the car a little bit off-roading to Zach.
I'm not sure that was I think that might have been a connection blip there.
Ooh, wonderful. But does keep going nonetheless in 9th position, and Kankos not being immediately dropped, but there is definitely a pace difference between the two, and I think Zach Silver's got the upper hand on him as it stands. Into the middle sector they go, and everything looks neat and tidy.
It's like, let's look up and down for a battle. We've got Angela Scott closing in on Jatin Kanoji here, and Ben Neal closing in on Kankos and Silver.
Indeed, they are a 0.6 or 0.5 a second now between Neal and Kankos.
Oof, bit wide for Neal there. Took a lot of curb through the corner.
Indeed, takes a lot of grass. That's not going to help his cause in the slightest.
Not at all. Let's have a look. Neal has done a stop. Kankos yet to do his mandatory pit stop.
Maybe holding out for another safety car potentially.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Because you don't want to come in under green unless you absolutely have to. Because the instant there's a pace car, you lose any advantage you get from that stop. Or if you think it might be a pace car about to happen.
Absolutely. Or Kankos using a push to pass, potentially trying to defend from the attack of Neal in P11. That push to pass has just expired. It's now on cooldown, and immediately is able to have another one activated if he wants to use it. He's got 6 left. And push to pass has actually been quite widely used for this race, but people still haven't yet to use any push to passes like Scott, Silver, and Lapavo. But
yeah, I'm not convinced James Lapavo has actually mapped a bottom for the push to pass.
Gosh,
He didn't use any last week either.
No, he didn't.
Scotty has a tendency to save hers for near the end.
Yeah. But Alfie now right on the tail of Conti for third. That was a back marker get out of the way of those two guys. It was Ben Asker.
Alfie hard charging here, looking for that third place. And he's got the warm alternate tyres now, gets much more grip on the inside there, and he's just able to steam past Gonzo.
The push to pass as well.
Gets the move done, will run down into the first corner, goes nicely across the apex. Little wiggle, but nothing, no major drama, and gets going. And Ben Beams comes in for his next stop. Now, he might have done enough, possibly, to get a one-stop here.
Ooh.
He might need another pace car to do it.
Yes. Absolutely.
But he's definitely pushing onwards. As you haven't mentioned, Ben Neal currently leading the AM fight, I believe. I might need to check. Well, I can't really check that because SimGrid was having a problem.
Oh, wonderful. Pavo into the pits, by the way, as well. Coming in for his pit stop from the lead. And Alexel will be taking that race lead back from him. As Kanoji and Scott fight away. Oh, Scott and Kanoji's off onto the grass as we join the battle. Has activated the push to pass. His fifth activation.
Right back on it, up the inside. Like, he's going to have clear space, and it's one line through that chicane.
It is indeed, and Kanoji makes it work, but Scott hasn't given up the fight as of yet. And going wide through the exit there, Jatin's not going to help your cause as Alfie now has a run. Goes up the inside, maybe squeezed a bit against the wall there was Scotty a little bit as they go onto the brakes. Inside line for Scott. Oh, goes drifting and round. No, saves it.
Easy, well, and everyone who was praying for a pace car behind her is not as happy that she saved it as we are.
Exactly. Oh,
these guys pushing hard here. It is still the closest fight. Scotty has not let Jatin go there.
Hasn't, still with him. Kanoji uses another push to pass. So he's got 3 left to race, so another 20 laps to go. But burning through them.
Trying to defend here. Oh, Gus Peters has disconnected.
Oh dear. Right, he'll hopefully rejoin. That might have just been an internet blip for him, and hope that he will rejoin in a few moments' time. Moment for Scotty. And that's going to open up the gap once more to him and Kanoji, but behind Zach Silver now closes in with a charging Ben Neal as well.
Yeah, it's turning into a three-way fight for P8 here, and Scotty is in the lead of it. But that said, they're closing down Kanoji again, and it's going to become a 4-way fight for P7.
It is indeed. Ben Alge's in push to pass just because he can. I think he's got a good 16-second gap to P2.
Yeah, he's absolutely made his pit stop strategy work, because he has massively cleared the gap there. I wonder if Lapavo held on a bit too long on those used alternates. He's come out on a fresh set of them.
He has,
but yes, long way back now.
Yes, quite possibly yeah, Pavo getting maybe not strategy wrong, but maybe just the race not going the way he wanted it to in the first instance. Still got this little midfield battle here. Scott's now closing on oNiD for 6th. It's now going to be a 5-way battle essentially for P6 if they all decide to form a bit of a
Brain behind it. Ben Asker in his own.
Oh, oNiD taking avoiding action for a back marker.
Yeah, went the wrong way. Ben Asker stuck to his line and braked. And I think Justin made the wrong call of which way to go there.
Quite possibly now a defect from Kankos for 9th. Kankos will try around the outside as Neil and Silver start fighting away into the final chicane. McNeil making the position up to 7th, getting past Silver. Actually going to jump back to them as they are still fighting. Going through the final turn. Silver not using a push pass, and Ben Neal's push pass has just expired, but it doesn't matter. Has the slipstream going into turn 1.
Zach defends hard down into turn 1, riding high from his win last night in LMU, but not able to hold off that bar liveried Honda.
I think that might be a bit of a nudge as well.
Oh, that's a Linux-themed Indycar is making some odd twitches.
It is. I've just noticed that as well.
And I'm hoping that it's not a recurrence of Zach's connection issues, because we thought he'd finally put them to bed.
Likewise. Well, he does stay put in 8th for now. Can't close back up to Neil immediately, as we've got another 17 laps to go. Contu's in push to pass. He's in clearer. He's got measure about 1 second behind him, so I think maybe this is just a push to pass to get him used and potentially open a gap up to Negev, who looked to be closing, and still is actually closing.
I think everyone from P2 backwards is praying for a safety car at this point. Alfie Bevan bangs in the fastest lap at a 1:37.8.
Oh,
or his fastest lap rather.
Yep, indeed.
But still 6 seconds back from the car in front.
Ugh.
He and James LaPavo set times down to the exact 100th on their last laps. 1:37.841 for LaPavo to 1:37.847 for Bevan.
Ugh.
They could not be closer in times than if they were right next to each other, to a 1:37.866 for Axel. So they made, 200ths on him out of his 16-second lead.
No, absolutely. Gus Peters has sadly dropped to 15th, not rejoined, so maybe a connection issue there has potentially seen him out for the rest of this race meet.
Yeah, he's not said anything in chat, so I'm guessing that something's gone a bit wrong for him there.
I agree. As everyone now is just calming down. Field's relatively spread out. Nearest battle we have is this one. We're watching Hankos and Kanoji as a car getting out of the way. That is, I think it's Dave Wood. Alex Wood, should I keep saying Dave Wood?
Force of habit, isn't it?
Force of habit. It's one of our wonderful admins. Is Dave Wood, and every time I see his name on a sim, like, it's Dave Wood. No, it isn't. Oh dear.
Fight's getting a little bit spread here. After many pace cars last week, we've only had a couple this week, so it's allowed these drivers to really spread their wings as they're pushing onwards.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't mind a competition caution at this point, I've got to admit. But
I wouldn't be opposed
but
to
I'm
it.
sly like that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we know you're not sly. What are you talking about? No.
I'm definitely sly. I'm proud of it. Yeah, closest fight on track is Johan Neshev trying to close down Miku Kontu. Just not quite there yet. Starting to get closer, but he's just over a second back from the other car. So it's just trying to find that space really and get those good laps in.
Yeah, I agree. Slowly but surely, the gap's closing as Nechev runs wide through that first part of the first chicane.
And he closes a little bit, but he loses out as they come on the throttle on the exit of the chicane.
Yes, absolutely. So, gap closing, but not quite enough.
Both on the prototype, top three, all on alternates, so those tyres are going to go off. They probably will have to make another stop before the end.
Ugh. Glorious. 31 of 46. Another 15 laps to go. It's Bennett in the lead from Pavo to Beaver to Conti to Nechev. Scott, Neil, Silver, Kanoji, Cancos round up your top 10. Beams 11th, Hyman 12th. Wood 13th, Oscar 14th, 2 laps down, and sadly, currently a DNF from Gus Peters, who is yet to rejoin the server but potentially having bigger issues that is out of his control.
We're just kind of hoping someone bins it now to bring the pace car, aren't we, in an awkward position. But these guys will continue racing.
We wouldn't want someone to crash, Ben. What are you talking about? Yeah, not too long to go. Gaps are remaining relatively the same. Just looking at the times as well. Everyone is setting some good times. 1:38.8 there for Jacob Hine closing in on Beams, but there's 5 seconds of that to go. Conti, however, activating the push to pass, potentially feeling he has to defend here from Nechev in 4th position, as the gap was about below 1 second. Uses that push to pass maybe just to eke out a little bit more of a cushion. He's only got 4 more activations after this one's finished, but he comes to the pits.
Yeah, Mika Conti jumps into the pit lane.
So, I'm guessing that means the other top 3 will also be still needing the pit as well.
Yeah, they will definitely... Those alternates will not last to the end of this race.
No, they will not. And Zach Silver was into pits too, most notably. Bernard in the lead, 15 seconds. Let's use push to pass. But I think that's just him trying to create a gap. Oh, well, extend the gap, should I say. He's created a gap and he just wants to extend it. A bit of traffic up ahead of him. That's someone.
Wait, it's 3 horsepower. You might as well use it, mightn't you? So he's going to...
Indeed, and that's traffic. And
push away at the front.
I'm not sure who that traffic is, actually.
That is Jacob Hine ahead of Axel Benno here, who's just driving his own race in P12 at the moment.
Indeed, he is. So he will be seeing the blue flags and will allow the leader pass in a good time, I certainly hope. Yep, into turn 1 goes the leader. Hine doesn't really fight it, takes a wide entry line, and will continue his own races. Bennett overtakes that back marker.
Yep, we do have a fight forming. Mika Conti on Anton Cancos down 4P8 at the moment. 3 tenths between them. Conti on the fresh tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. He's looking for that move, isn't he? He's all over the rear bumper of Cancos. Might be a move up into the final chicane. Thinks about making it, gets alongside onto the brakes. Inside the line can get slowed down. He cuts the second chicane. He's going to compromise him a little bit. But it doesn't matter because that's Cancos elected to go for the pit lane.
Go for his next pit stop. Might as well. The tyre difference there was massive.
Yep.
So he just gets in, get a fresh set of shoes bolted onto the car, and then
yeah, that's it.
Get going again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Cancos in the pits. Ready driver to take a pit stop. Silver and Beams and Conti for that matter electing to use push to pass. No real dramas there from them in that sense. Cancos in the pits.
Jacob Hine in the pits. No, Cancos just exiting the pits. Jacob Hine coming in for another stop.
Leader's in.
He is indeed. Those alternates must have clearly given up at last. So he will now get going. Gets a new set on. That should be enough to get him to the end of this race.
12 laps ago, you would certainly think so, wouldn't you? That begs the question for the rest of the field. What are they going to do? P1 and 3 currently on the alternate tyre.
One pace car here, and it's going to absolutely bring other cars back into it.
Bevan fighting Bennett here for position as Bennett exits the pits. Around the outside for Bennett. And Alfie has a slide.
Yeah, fresh alternates versus used alternates. It's never going to go the used tyres' way. And Bennett just driving away there.
Yeah, absolutely. Gets the grip out the corner. Neil also into the pits along with Kanoji as well. So we are seeing this two-stop race pan out for people. And I wouldn't rule out another pit stop from Pavot in the lead unless he's going to use that 12-second gap. Try and set enough lap time to keep that gap ahead, or he lets Bennett eat into it, set his own pace, and use up that gap to try and hold the lead.
Absolutely, it's already starting to close Pavo down here, and Pavo went a lot deeper on his last set of tyres, but these won't last to the end.
No, they won't.
You're already seeing him start to close that gap.
Yeah, does he bite the bullet now, however, or does he lose 0.6 per second each lap and try and retain the race to lead? That's the question.
Cancos on fresh tyres now on the back of Jatin Kanoji, trying to find a way through on the Indian driver. Not quite there yet. Kanoji's tyres are relatively new, but Cancos on completely fresh tyres, but they are the primes. They will take a little bit of time to get up to a working window.
They will, but he's holding station for now. Maybe potentially eyeing up a move into the latter part of the lap. We can get a little bit more closer and utilise the new fresh grip that he's got underneath him. But now, staying put in 10th. Has a bit of a wobble through Schumacher S's actually.
Yeah, it's not quite there, but Cancos is definitely on the move here.
Is indeed. Only got 3 push to passes left as Cancos, but it's the same for Kanoji as well. Kanoji goes deep on the exit of the final chicane. That's going to give a reason Cancos to potentially make a move up to final 10. Actually stays put, and next opportunity will be turn 1 if you can get a good run throughout the turn. As Kanoji goes wide, immediately goes defensive, and will start to look for the position where Cancos. Kanoji actually rejoins the racing line. As that
was a bit of a lunge.
Was a little bit.
But they get away with it.
They do indeed. With 10 laps to go. Battles up and down the field. Pavot yet to pit. Gap to him and Bennett is now 10.7 seconds. If he can hold out this gap and only lose 0.7 of a second for the next 10 laps, could be in for a win here.
Neshev in the pits from P4.
Interesting.
He will drop a place to Angela Scott, and he's missed his pit box, had to back in.
That is disappointing.
I've got a feeling Scotty's going to have to pit again, though. She is on the prime tyre. Highest prime runner at the moment.
Indeed they are. We'll keep an eye on that as Pavot still holding the gap around that 10.5 seconds to Bennett.
Not going to be enough to offset a pit stop.
That's going to be, if he's got the field, trying to make it last then, surely.
It's the fuel and the tyres, and those alternates do not last anywhere near as long. And Pavel only went a couple of laps longer than Beno last round of stops we went through.
Absolutely. So we'll see what he can do. Gets onto the brakes. It looks tidy enough. If he does have less tyre wear than he used to, it's not really showing. And the gap's only closed by about 0.3 of a second this time round.
Yep. But you can see that's just not quite as quick when he's going past Alex Wood there.
No, it's quick enough. 138.3. Let's see what Bennett does as he comes to the line. 137.5.
Yeah, he's taking chunks out of the lead of Lepavo there. And I genuinely don't think he's going to have either the fuel or the tyre life to get to the end there. Bennett has dropped Alfie Bevan.
As indeed, Alfie's just maybe had an issue or...
very worn tyres on Alfie's car.
Oh, okay, so he's going to potentially have to bite the bullet and lose that podium position if he needs fresh tyres.
Well, Beno's on 2 stops, Lepavo on 1, and Bevan and Scott on 1. Everyone around them is on 2 stops.
Interesting.
So I think both... I think Lepavo, Bevan and Scott are all going to have to pit again. And I think Lepavo and Bevan will drop places to Beno, and Scott will drop that place back to Johan Neshev and possibly to Miku Kontu behind them.
Absolutely. Gap's come down by a good chunk this lap between Pavo and Bennett. It'll probably be within the 9 seconds or maybe even less than 9 seconds between the two. And I think, honestly, if Pavo is able to hold himself... Scotty's round! Never mind! So they've had a spin in P4. Where's Neshev? There he is, makes a move.
Yeah, that's very worn tyres on Scotty's car, I think, there. And that's definitely going to cost her with Kontu as well, who is right up on the back of her all of a sudden. And on much fresher tyres.
Yeah, indeed. The Scottish recovers, gets back up to racing speed. We'll have a charging Kontu in the background. He wants that 5th position.
So robbing the pace car's got to be dying of boredom around this point.
I wouldn't blame him if he's gone off for a kip, to be perfectly honest.
In a few laps, he'll be...
That is pit stop for Scotty, and yes, in a few laps he will be stood down, so even if we did have a very big incident, there won't be another safety car. Right, what's Scotty going to do? So Neil will come past him to take 7th position. As Kanoji and Kankos fighting away through the final chicane. Ooh, Kankos potentially inside, getting a bit of a wiggle on, trying to make the move on Kanoji.
Not quite close enough to make the move.
Oh, the slipstream will come into effect. No use of push to pass into turn 1. They go. Kankos, I think, will have to stay put for at least over 2 couple of corners and goes very deep, slides a little bit on exit.
Much late on the break there.
Yeah, was able to save it.
Kanoji looks like those tyres are starting to give up on him, I've got to say. Just does not have the grip there.
And Beaver's in the pits as well. P3.
Yep, it was getting to about that time, and you've got to think it's only a matter of time until the Pavo comes in for his final stop as well.
Where is he? He's got traffic. He's ready to go to the inside line and make it clear to the car he wants to come past, but not quite letting him pass. Now this is hurting him if his tyres aren't giving up the ghost. This slower car ahead of him is also killing his gap between him and Bennett. If he's trying to eke out to the end of the race on these tyres, this is not helping him.
Yeah, he needs to clear Ben Beams as quickly as possible, but I'm just not sure he's got the grip to do it.
Oh, it's contact! Oh, that's cost him a whole second. He's staying out. So you got enough of a gap to Beaven to take second if he needs a pit stop.
Maybe it's going to be very close.
Is indeed.
But the question is, with 6 laps to go, can he make it to the end? Has he got enough to want to not make another stop? He was out of sequence already because he got his. He did an early stop under the pace car.
Yeah, he did. 6 laps to go, and the gap's now down to 5.2. So James needs a bit of a miracle here and find a bit more pace. I don't think he can. He is struggling, but the only saving grace is Bennett will have to lap the same car that Paveau has just done, and I think it's just Helen. There he is. That's the that's the lap car going into the hairpin now.
I think Ben Beams is in his own race. He's just doing his own thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens. Gap's now 4.4. Let's see if the lapped car does hold up Bennett as much as it held up Paveau, because having cars in between each other a lap down may actually be a saving grace here for James.
Unless he can
see.
That time is tumbling between them.
It is big time.
I've got 2 cars between them, Ben Asker and Ben Beams. And they just, even if he gets past one, they're very close together. Ben Asker's going to try and let both of them through.
Indeed he does.
Past the Red Sea there, gets through.
Indeed he does, on the outside, and that is... that's the lap car getting out of the way, and that was much easier done.
1.6 seconds difference between them last time round.
Yeah, I think James is gonna have to try and fight it out for the lead here if he's not gonna make a pit stop.
There's no point pitting now. He's got 4 laps to go,
and the gap between him and will then be Alfie Beaven, should I say, will be about 35 seconds. So he has a cushion enough to take second position, but it's a matter of how hard is he fighting for this first place.
Yeah. It's going to be a big challenge to hold on for this long on those tyres. They are very worn alternates at this point.
They're screaming for mercy, aren't they?
200% tyre wear as well. These tyres will be wearing out, but how much is Benno taking out of his trying to close this gap?
It's a very good
he's
point.
Banging out fast lap after fast lap.
Yeah. That is a very good point.
He's only a 10th off his best time at the moment.
Oof. Right. James has got some cars coming up. We can get cars between him and Bennett for the second position. That might help him ever so slightly.
Let's have a look. Paveau goes through 138.7, 137.6. It's another 1.5 seconds taken out. And only 2.5 seconds between them now as they go.
Yeah, and Paveau is using push to pass now.
Yeah. I mean, you would, wouldn't you?
I mean, set it up right to the end, get the extra horsepowers right through for the final few laps. 4 laps to go, and Bennett is closing. Not much else happening off downfield. Canadian and Cancos are quite close together for 9th and 10th. It's actually the 2 lapped cars that are ahead of the race leader as it stands.
They're in a fight ahead of this.
They are, absolutely.
So they're not going to get out of the way. Cancos is trying to chase Kanoji down, nor are they obliged to.
What a gap.
But if the Paveau can get past them in short order, they're going to be fighting in between Axel Benoit and James Lepaveau as well.
This could be a saving grace for James here, but he needs to get past them.
I'm not sure he's got the grip there. 1.8 seconds. Less taken out this lap. Oh,
he's
Papa's in
pitting.
pit. He's not got enough. The gamble has not worked.
And Bennett takes the race lead. Pavel will have enough grip. Sorry, Pavel will have enough time, should I say, between him and Alfie, because Alfie's coming through the second chicane now. Will have enough time, just about, to retain P2.
Yeah, splash and dash, quick tyre change, and out the Pavel goes. 13 seconds behind Axel Bennett. It is Bennett's to lose.
It's now absolutely as Alfie leaves the pit lane. James Pavel leaves the pit lane. Alfie coming through the final turn, and the gap is, we'll get an updated gap as we come to the timing beam. Just wait for the time to disappear. 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13. No, 14 seconds.
14.1.
The fresh
But
tyres.
we have some fights. Angela Scotti and Anton Kankos has finally got past Justin Kanoji.
As indeed, as that's a lapped car or lapping car coming through. I don't know quite know who that is, but it is a faster car.
Axel Benno between
That's
them.
the race leader, isn't it? Yeah.
And Angela Scott's on the back of Zach Silver. Looks to the inside down into turn one. Is she going to be able to get the car turned through? Slides it.
That was close.
Those alternate tyres reaching for grip, not quite there. She's had these ones bolted on for a few laps as well now.
As indeed. As Kanoji and Kankos now fighting away into turn one, and I think Kanoji actually got the move done there prior to the apex.
Got it done, closed off the move, and Kankos has to get this done all over again.
Indeed, he will. So he'll try and hunt back down at position, but for now it looks relatively sure that Kanoji will hold P9 if Kankos can't do anything about it. On to the penultimate lap, and we have the official call from race control. Green flag until the end of the race. Safety cars are stood down and no more need for them, and it will be just a straight out fight for those out on circuits. As we said, Scott closing on Silver, and also Kankos still trying to close back in on Kanoji for 10th and 8th respectively. And we'll see if Scott can actually make that move for 7th position. Around wide line around the final turn, trying to get a better drive out the corner. Actually might have cost them a little bit more time than they were intending.
Yeah, it's on the power, but just I think those alternates are starting to give up the ghost.
Just a little bit, for sure.
Definitely no safety car to finish because the safety car has left the server now. Big twitch from Zach Silver up ahead of Scotty there.
Indeed it was. That might give Scotty a bit more confidence to try and push on this, what is now the penultimate lap. But Scotty's looking mighty racy. Let's see if we can get an onboard. We can indeed. And has a run down hairpin. Silver defends. Outside line for Scotty. Then he tries the over-under. Can't quite make it work now. He'll stay put in the tail. Oh, Zach's lifting.
He fuel safe is, well, two drivers who know how to fuel safe here, given on last night. Standard is Zach Silver and Angela Scotty.
Indeed they are.
But they will have one lap to go at the end of this one.
And Scotty's on the pressure pass, so is Zach Silver. Zach Silver goes defensive into the final chicane. Might go deep to Zach. Scotty does as well, to be fair. They both go reasonably deep. And not in the attempt to try and get past one another.
They hold position. Scotty, big slide there.
And a twitch from Zach, and it's going to go wide on the final exit of the final turn. and that will give Scotty a reason maybe to try and close in the gap. However, Silver's activated a push to pass to defend. Just about keeps him ahead.
Yep. These two onto their penultimate lap. The leader has started his final lap. He's coming up on the back of this fight.
Oh my God,
but I don't think he's going to be close enough to lap them.
No, I don't think so either. Scotty...
Which means that these two have got a lap and a half to resolve this fight.
Did they have Scotty still fighting away, trying to get it back past Silver? Kankos getting close to Kanoji once more, as the push to passes are now being used. Oh, Scotty almost going into the back of Silver on the brakes. And I think Silver is either struggling for tyre life or is starting to fuel save.
Scotty's not usually a very lungy driver, but she really wants that position, doesn't she?
She does outside.
Defending very well.
It's a nudge. There was defensive move. There was a nudge on the back of Zach's car. There's another nudge as they try and turn into each other. Oh!
Yeah. I think that was two cars that weren't quite under
control.
Top level control there. And that is Scotty losing out at the last.
Indeed, I think so, sadly. But they will no doubt try.
They're going to have another lap.
They are.
But that's 2 seconds Scotty has lost now. I think she has taken the best from those tyres.
I think so as well. They'll be fighting for another lap, but we will say congratulations to Axel Bennott, who comes through the final turn. And now we'll see the checkered flag for round 3 of the oNiD Hound Indycar Championship here on the Saturday course. So that is the checkered flag, and that is a race win for Axel Bennott. Pavot will be next to see the checkered flag comes around the final turn, 13 seconds of the gap, and that is fantastic stuff from them. They see the checkered flag and call that race done and dusted. P2 for them, and familiar name back up on the podium. Fought hard for it, started 8th, gained 5 positions, and it is going to be Alfie Bevan for the final podium position here of the evening.
The no counts have finished. The fight is not over. Angela Scott is right on the back of Zach Silver out the hairpin. 3 tenths between them, and she is closing. Used alternates versus used primaries. Who's going to have the grip?
Well, neither of them do at the moment by the looks of it, but Scotty looks to just about have the upper hand and control the car. Around through the second chicane they go, they'll go down what is essentially a straight. As we said, it is flat through here. However, Silver looks to got on a good drive out the corner. It'll be a lunge down into the final turn. If anything, Scotty wants to make a move. Gets wobble.
Twitch there, little twitch, and that might just be enough to put paid to this battle. It will be Zach Silver taking P7. Penn Neal taking P6 overall.
Just out for him.
Zach Silver taking P7 from Angela Scott in P8.
Very good indeed. We will now finish for that round. And what a round it's been.
It was. You couldn't have had a more different race to last week. But what great racing from these guys.
It has been absolutely... and breathe. As that is now a race over for the 3rd round here of the AC Indycar Championship. And breathe.
Oh, what a race from these guys.
It was brilliant, to say the least. Very good race. Fair racing from all. Minimal safety cars, which is always nice to see. A turn 1 incident on the first restart saw a safety car called out, and yeah, it was I'm speechless really. It was actually quite a fun race to commentate on.
Yeah, absolutely. Great tactical fights from these guys. Great on-track battling from And we can only look forward to next week when these guys go to their only oval of the season.
Wonderful. Good bit of oval racing. Bristol, is it?
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Fantastic. Phoenix Raceway for round 4 next week. The AC is just not the only thing we have on oNiD, as we always say. Many leagues are running throughout the week. Tomorrow we'll go to iRacing. No, ignore me. It's Tuesday today, not Wednesday. Tomorrow it's the Academy on LMU, multi-class racing there, and we'll see the newer or out-of-seasoned drivers wanting to rejoin sim racing. Race it out for bragging rights on that championship. That'll be live on Twitch. Thursday we'll go to the Formula Lights Championship on iRacing, again on Twitch, along with myself and who we've seen actually race here this evening. Scotty will be in the comments booth with me. Friday is a bit of a rest week. We don't have any streams on a Friday, but then we will go to Sunday, which is our
However, Friday we do have our first race at the new initiative for being pushed by Johnny, Ashley, and over at the new home for sims that maybe need a bit more push on their grid. Being put together by Johnny Ashley and Steve Worrell. It is the first event at GridLink. The details are in the announcements. It's an AMS2 night, so come along and join the fun on that.
Absolutely do so. Not streamed, but a new initiative there, as you said, being pushed there by Steve Worrell and also Bossman himself, Johnny Ashley, giving attention to the AMS2 Assetto Corsa sims as well. We'll be having a celebratory race Friday on AMS2, and I believe it's Brazilian stock cars, if I remember correctly. I will have to double check.
Indeed.
Yes, very
exactly
fun.
The thing, if we're honest.
Fun cars to drive on AMS2 on Friday night. Do come and get involved if you're wanting to come and be joining that. Get our details from the Discord. It is in the major announcements channel of the text chat at the top of the Discord. That's Friday, but Sunday we will be back live again on Twitch for our feature race on LMU on Sunday, not our feature championship, which will see drivers batting it out in LMU once more. Monday, we're back with the LMU series again, another LMU series on Monday nights for you on Twitch. And then you're doing that comments on for that, aren't you, Ben, on Monday?
Indeed, that is the multi-class series on Monday nights. So hypercars and GTE cars.
Absolutely.
And it's been great racing so far, so you'll definitely want to tune in for that one.
Good stuff. And then back here on Tuesday, they see the Indycar Championship. First oval race. First and only oval race?
It is the only oval race for this season. After we did a season of ovals last year.
Absolutely. At Phoenix Oval, be sure to jump back on Twitch for that. And also, do be sure to go to our Discord, discord.gg/oNiD Community Racing. Put that into a web browser. Come and say hi to us on the server. Come and get involved with GridLink as well, which has just been launched. And we will hopefully see you all very, very soon. Good night. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Drive safe. Keep racing out there. And we'll, as I said, see you all very, very soon. Take care. Good night.